Hello, Sam with Sam's Ag and Sports Shop. Today I'm going to do a short video on what I do with my rear axle hubs when they get loose. This is what I do every time when I tighten them if I have them off for any reason. And it normally works pretty good. I don't have a lot of problems with my rear hubs coming loose. They happen to come loose on this 450R. And I was checking out since I had to replace the rear subframe anyway. So I just was checking out the rest of the bike and found that my rear axle hubs were loose. So what I like to do typically is I'll clean the splines, and you can see right here there's a lot of dirt in there. I'll clean these real nice, and what I noticed on this is since they came loose, I guess they were loose a little bit. I was running them way out wide. I'm going to move them inboard and tighten them up. They're not as loose on the inner splines because I had all these spacers right here. These spacers here had them all inboard, so the splines weren't running there while it was loose. It's worn these outer splines. So out here, about that far, the hub is a little bit looser. If you put it in here, it tightens up a little bit. So we're gonna move the hubs inboard, put the spacers on the outboard, and tighten it back down. I'll pack it with grease when I put it on there, and then I'll tighten it down with my impact, and then a lot of times I'll torque them to like 200 foot-pounds or so with my torque wrench. And then I also like to use high strength Loctite on them. So that's what I typically do. So, and I don't have a lot of problems after I do that. I just happen to notice on this one, it's been a while since I checked it, that it did come loose. So it's a good idea to check these on a regular basis, just to make sure your hubs aren't getting loose. And when your hubs get loose, it'll wear the splines out, just hammering back and forth. So you want to make sure these hubs are always tight. So as that, here we'll show you real quick. You get it slid on here. So that hammering back and forth when it's loose wears the splines out, and it'll eat up the splines, and you'll end up costing you a rear axle and new hubs if you don't keep them tight. So, and as you see, when I move this inboard where it wasn't running, there's hardly any play. And there's a little bit there, but the further, see how if you get it out here, it really wobbles. But as I go in, it tightens up. You see, as soon as I moved it in past where it was running, it tightened up a little bit. Not a lot, but it's noticeable. So that's what I suggest. You know, always pack them with grease, and then I keep the threads clean on the nuts, so when I put the Loctite on, the Loctite will adhere. So you want your threads clean, so you don't want grease on your threads, but I do pack the splines with grease. So that's what I got for you guys. Hope this helps somebody out. Till next time, we'll see you.